Hi everybody. Just realizing how much more haggard I look from the last video. I am trying to focus on creating some form of curriculum for a peer counseling program that I already run at my school district at the middle school level. And so I went ahead and I found it was a 148-page guide for educators at Oxford Union High School who are certifying students to become peer mediators. And it was really interesting because when I first found it, I was like, oh my gosh, I've hit the jackpot. This is something that I could really use in order to kind of branch out with my own twist in terms of modifying it for middle school curriculum. But I was really shocked to find that while a lot of kind of the premises behind how I run my program aligned with the high school model, it looked a little different in certain ways. In a lot of senses, they were similar because it was really focusing on student-based learning, on experience. The student experience, the teacher of the class is really just kind of to be a facilitator of the program, and the activities were to be experiential. They were supposed to be something that students generated and experienced amongst themselves. Both my program and this program focused on student autonomy and also on creating a really safe environment with which students can grow. It also, similarities had to do with class procedures, expectations, a student contract, analyzing personal values and bias that students might bring in to the peer counseling program, a focus on conflict mediation skills, listening, communicating, questioning skills, anger and violence, teen issues, things like that. Where we kind of branch off and things got a little different was that this particular program really gave underneath all of the subjects hands-on activities for students to do. So say, for example, if it was trust building, I mean, they do this trust walk, or they do interviews, empathy interviews with each other. So there were all these kind of activities that students did versus just like explicit teaching, which is kind of what I do. One thing that was different too was that I tend to jump right into role plays and scenarios immediately, and that was like one of the last items that was listed for the suggested curriculum. And one thing, subset that I was really surprised to not find was, although they were looking at cultural awareness and bias, including race, there was no activities that had to do with gender or sexual orientation. So that was really interesting for me. Overall, the process was a little daunting because here I was thinking I was going to create this really simple curriculum and not realizing, oh my gosh, in order to really flesh out the program, I'm going to really have to put some thought into creating activities that align with each subset in terms of explicit teaching of communication activities, verbal and nonverbal. Never even thought of that. So it got the wheels spinning inside my head. So overall, it was a pretty good activity. Definitely aligned with the idea that students are agents of change. That's the goal. Empowerment, learning by doing, those kinds of things. So it definitely gave me something to consider.